Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm gonna introduce you to my first electronic project on the channel. It's quite a simple project, but it's also a little bit complex, not too much but just a little bit, because the project is mainly divided into three main parts, and we'll be going through the details about this project throughout this video. And I hope just you guys, you're gonna have some fun and you will catch up the main part of the project, so that if you're interested you can reproduce it at home. I really enjoyed this project because like I always say, electronic for me is a part of fun. Most of the time when I'm working on some projects, some electronic projects, although the project is complex, but for me it's like a challenge, and I do like to to face the challenges. And when I'm working on a project, it's quite fun. It's like I'm having some fun, and I really enjoyed this project, although it's very simple according to me, but at least I think that you guys, you're gonna enjoy it. And at the end of this video, I will be really delighted to see your comments about the project and your contribution too. So let's get started. On its own, the project is an automatic barrier using a password and traffic light system. As you can see on this LCD display, it is written enter the password, and we do have a traffic light simulation and a barrier. So how the project is, what the project is about. First of all, you have to know that this automatic barrier works with a password system. Basically, the user or the driver will be asked to put the password so that the barrier can open up automatically. And if the password is wrong, there will be a message written right to this LCD display, which will tell to the driver or the user that your password is not valid, your password is wrong. But in case the password is correct, the barrier will open up automatically. But before that, there will be a warning, and that warning will be displayed through our traffic lights simulation. When the password is correct, the light will go to it will turn from red to green light, but passing through the yellow light, as a normal traffic light works in real life. And the importance of each part of this physical project, right now I'm explaining you the physical part of the project, which is divided into three parts: the LCD display to tell the user to put the password, the traffic light simulation, and then the barrier on its own. And the importance of the LCD display is just to tell the user that you have to put a password before crossing or passing over the barrier. And then if the password is correct or wrong, the message will be displayed on this LCD display. And the importance of our traffic light simulation is just to warn the user that when the password is correct, the light will turn from red light to green light, but passing through yellow lights, as I said before. And it's quite a warning, so that the user will know I'm about to cross over the barrier, and to pass over the barrier, and to get prepared. So let's have a small simulation, and this is the coding, like the coding part, but will be I will give you the details of let's say the background of this project later on, but first of all let's have a small simulation of this project. So let's try a small simulation before I give you the details about the background of this project. I mean the implementation, the coding parts, and even the design parts. As is written to the LCD display, enter a password. And for us to enter the password, we'll be using the computer and especially the serial monitor. In the coding ports, I already set the password to be 12345, but let's try a wrong password which is different from 12345, and I set the password to be of 5 digits, so let's put that a random password, a random number of 5 digits, and let's send the message to our microcontroller. And you can see that it is written wrong password. I don't know if you call it up, but let me put again that wrong password. You will see on the serial monitor it will turn from enter password to wrong password. Let's send the password. You can see wrong password. So nothing is occurred, nothing has happened because the password wasn't correct, wasn't a good one. But now let's put the correct password, which is 12345, and we'll see what is going to happen to our system. So to our serial monitor, we will put that correct password 12345, and let's send the message. It sends. Okay, you can see by yourself how the system has changed, and the barrier open up automatically, and there is a delay time before it's closed up again because the driver must have time to pass over the barrier. So the simulation parts was quite good. There is no any problem to our project. And let's now go through the details about the conception of this project. Let's get into our simulation parts. Normally, I use the ThinkAccord software in order for me to get these circuits. This is the circuits of our system. And as you can see by yourself, there are, let's say, 3 main ports. First of all, there is this LCD display. The role is just to display the message in order to want the user to put a password, and where the password, where is correct or wrong, the message will be displayed on this LCD display. And then the LCD display brightness is controlled by this potentiometer right here. It's really useful also for this project. And apart from this, we can see these 3 LEDs, which is the simulation of the traffic lights, as you saw, I mean, when we simulated the project. First of all, the lights will be always red when the barrier is closed, but when the user or the driver puts a password, the light will turn from red to green, passing by yellow. Then this is our servo motor, which is the mechanical part of our project, and it's really useful because without this mechanical part we can never get the barrier opened. And the entire system is controlled by our Arduino microcontroller, which is the bridge between the electronic and mechanic parts and the, let's say, the programming parts, because this project has gathered on its own 3 main fields. There is electronic and electricity, then there's mechanic, which is represented by this mother, and then we do have also computer science to control the entire system. That's why I always say, to be a good mechatronics engineer, you have to master those three fields perfectly. Now let's jump to the coding part. But I don't want to bother you with this code, this programming parts, but I will just give you the most important part of my code. As I said before, the microcontroller I'm using is Arduino for this project, but you can use any other microcontroller like Raspberry or any other. And in these programming ports, the most important thing is, first of all, to set the password, because it is a system which is using the password, and then to set the conditions. And the programming language I used is C++. Who wish to get more details about how I did this programming part, I can make a separate video for those who are willing really to know what is this programming part is all about. But I don't want to bother you with this, because for most of you it's quite weird. But for those who really master the C++ language, I think they can figure out what is going through this code. And I will put the code right in the description below for those who are willing to know to get this code. Probably there is some who like to reproduce the project at home, so you will get the codes right in the description below.